Austin, Texas, home to roughly 1 million people and growing every year. Home to tourist attractions and landmarks such as Lady Bird Lake, historic 6th Street, and South Congress, to name a few. But there is one more attraction and landmark seldom known to much of the city that holds true to the motto, "Keep Austin Weird." Deep in the heart of central Austin, located on the corner of Kingsbury and Parkway, is Pease Park, home to the annual Eeyore's birthday party. But what is Eeyore's, and how did it get started?
It started as just an excuse for a party by a group of English students and with the university. A man named Lloyd Birdwell. He and some of his other friends got together at the end of the school year, and they had been studying A.A. Milne and one of Professor Eyre's English classes. And they wanted to have a party at the end of the year. They decided to have a party in a park. It was Eastwood's Park because that was the closest thing to the university, and it was a nice place. It had trees. You know, I mean, it's a nice setting to have a party. It's beautiful, shady, and they threw a birthday party. I mean, they threw a funky birthday party. And everybody pretty much did what they had. Students didn't necessarily have a lot of money to waste, and so Eeyore was a perfect fit. They were celebrating a donkey that didn't know its birthday because it was adopted. It was separated from its mother and father. And the Friends of the Forest got together and threw it a birthday party. Well, in that spirit of giving, we've evolved into what it is today.
Since its inception, not much has changed for the festival, as it has remained strong to its roots. What has changed is the location, which migrated over to Pease Park in 1974. There are also well over 1,000 volunteers each year, which contribute largely to the festival's success. We also talked to Snow White, another board member for Friends of the Forest, about what goes into making the festival happen every year.
So it is amazing how this event is pulled off every year. We have a great group of people that just really know what they're doing, and we meet. We have board meetings throughout the year, and so we meet getting ready for the event. But then as far as the actual planning piece, all of us are responsible for getting our volunteers for our booth areas, and we have 3 meetings before the event held at Dog and Duck, so we thank them very much for allowing us to have our volunteer meetings there. And we talk about each of our areas, so face painting, temporary tattoos, serving beer, security, medics. So we need people in all of our different areas. And so we have those 3 meetings. We also make the flowers, the decorations that you see at the park at the meetings. We send out postcards letting people know about the event coming up, so just some awareness going on. And then the big day comes, and there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to get that ready, as far as closing off streets, making sure we have free shuttles for people to take to the event, because we know parking is an issue. Working with charities that want to provide or set up a food booth. So there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes too. And then the day of the event, we have the setup, we have a good time, everyone runs their booths, and then at the end of the night, we clean up our areas, and then the next day we all get back together again, and with the help of the Boy Scouts, we clean up the park, because we want to make sure that we leave the park the way it was when we found it.
The day of the festival, which is usually the last Saturday of April, thousands of Austinites and people from all over the world make the journey to Pease Park. Since Eeyore's is free and open to the public, the park is filled with people from all walks of life, regardless of their social or economic positions. The park is filled with people in intriguing costumes, or none at all sometimes. There are plenty of events, food vendors, and booths for people of all ages, including the always popular Eeyore's pen. It is a child-friendly event having its own play area with games and activities for kids. There is also a giant maypole, unicycle football game, and egg toss, which are popular every year. The most notable portion of the festival, however, are the drum circles. which roar on for the entirety of the festival, giving the day its ambience. We talked to a few people at the festival so they can tell us their Eeyore story or what they think about the event.
All right, so I've lived in Austin for many years and I've never made it to Eeyore's birthday and always heard it was the place to be. Well, I'm here and it's turned out to be absolutely wonderful and a wonderful experience. And I'm trying to work the word wonder in as much as I can. But it's been amazing so far and we're still trying to find the statue.
Memories of Eeyore's. Yeah, that's a good old donkey, isn't he? Favorite thing is, of course, the costume contest. Amazing people. Everybody gets into it. Our twin boys, when they were very young, got stuffed into one shirt by their aunt, and shoved up on stage so they could be. I don't remember what they were, but it was a little frightening. But love Eeyore's. It's always a great time.
But look how much people they are! Happy birthday, Eeyore! Woo! Nice.
At the end of the day, the sun begins to set and the crowds begin to disperse. Volunteers stay late to break down tents to begin the cleanup process, which resumes the following morning. The day after the festival, board members and numerous volunteers wake up bright and early and show up at the park, ready to clean up and restore it back to the way it was pre-festival. Also helping them are local Boy and Girl Scout troops, who by volunteering in turn receive donations to their pack, but also learn community service responsibilities. It is a tedious process, but one that Friends of the Forest are committed to completing. Although the festival and the cleanup are now over, there is still the matter of funds acquired through the festival.
So tell us about the charity aspect of the events and what Eeyore's contributes not only to Peace Park, but the city of Austin.
Sure, so as far as the charity aspect, what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of the proceeds from our event go to small local or Austin area charities. And even $500 makes the biggest difference to some of these charities. And they range from different types of organizations. So a lot of us are animal lovers, and so we'll support some animal organizations like Blue Dog Rescue, Wildlife Rescue, and then we also support some of the children organizations out there for Center for Child Protection, the Hearts and Hooves that uses miniature horses for rehabilitation and therapy for children. But then also organizations like the Capital Area Food Bank and the Green Corn Project. So it really does range. All of us on the board of directors have a charity that we present to the rest of the board on one that we'd like to give money to. And then we go around and we vote for that year depending on how much money we have. And we try to spread it out as much as we can to benefit as many charities as we can.
We spoke to Les Carnes on some final thoughts and words about the festival.
What are the misconceptions?
The misconceptions is that it's just a drunken beer party and it's only a bunch of dirty hippies out there. Well, even if it was just drunken, dirty hippies out there, that's still not a reason not to have it. If they can do it safely, you leave them alone. Austin was the Mecca, just like Berkeley was the Mecca for California, or New York City was the Mecca for the East Coast. Austin was it. It was cool. And part of that is the history that Austin has of letting people alone. You can be pretty much who you want to be here as long as you're not messing with somebody. And that doesn't mean a police state. That just means that you can have your lifestyle here. You know, it's what's attractive. Anybody in this room may have moved here for that reason. Well, the party part of it is you can also have Eeyores. It's not just a bacchanal party. It's a fundraiser for up to 15 different nonprofit groups. And it's a painless one. The only people that might have a bad time out there is me and one or two other people that had to deal with the people that were out there not having fun. And, but my deal is we pull this off safely. You can't do this in another place. First off, they would never let you. You know, they'd never let you go out there and have a seemingly disorganized large event in the middle of, or right next to, $1 million neighborhood. Well, we were doing this before those houses were $1 million. And, you know, we didn't add to the inflation of being here. We added to the fun. We added to the mystique of Austin. We will continue to do so. It's a good idea to go out and meet your neighbors. Even if you don't want to meet them, it's a good thing for you to see them and interact. I mean, you've got high-powered attorneys, you've got judges, you've got people that shovel horse manure, take care of racetracks, you've got farmers, you've got bus drivers, you've got taxi cab drivers, you've got teachers. I mean, I can pull from any list you give me of occupations, and it's represented not only in the crowd, but within our organization. And hey, you know, lay your list on the table, you know? Ours will match it. And that's what's cool about it. You don't have to have any money. You don't have to be rich or poor or have any status at all. You just have to want to cooperate and go out and be part of something that's really, really worthwhile.
Eeyore's is coming up on its 50th anniversary, withstanding the ever-changing landscape, politics, and fads of our time. It has stuck to its roots ever since it was created. And with this attitude and support from the community, there is no reason for the festival not to reach its 100th anniversary. Finally, we spoke to Michael Priest, an Eeyore's veteran. He's been around since the early days and leaves us with some final words.
It is a delightful thing to behold. In the land of the free, folks don't get that many opportunities to get free. And Austin has been a place that held very closely to that. And as I said, they only go about 6 weeks before it's time to do it again. And Eeyore's is be 50 this next year. So that's important. Kids, if you start now, you might be able to hold on till the 100th.
I could touch the weather and sometime, someday together would mean never. And we'd get high and sleep in clouds and never have a reason but come down. Oh, come down. Dreams are about as close to heaven as I'll get. Dreams are about as close to heaven as I'll get.